everybody. It's Rose again. Goodness gracious, things have been busy on Foodie and Sala's side. So I just posted a react to the video they posted today where Foodie and Sala went to a pet store and decided to purchase a couple of hamsters, a male and a female. And they were keeping them in a too small of a cage. And as you can imagine, there was a whole lot of backlash over that. And Foodie and Sala on the Foodie and Sala channel, they posted a community post saying that one of the hamsters will be taken back. And I wanted to cover the post and give my thoughts on this post. So let me just go ahead and share the screen so you guys can see and hear everything, because I've got some thoughts on that. I want to share them with all of you. So there's the post. So you guys just saw the react I did to the pet store bees, if you will, and they showed themselves going to the pet store, getting the hamsters, putting them in basically a travel cage, not an actual living cage, and how cramped it was. And the fact that there is a male and female hamster, you're just asking for little baby hamsters, and you're asking for the hamsters to fight and become territorial and all that stuff. So here's what Sala and Chantal posted. And this is more Chantal than Sala. This is her talking. She says, so this has been a learning experience for us both. It is too late to do anything now, but first thing tomorrow, we will sadly have to return one of the hamsters to the pet store, as we do not want to cause any harm to them in the future. I apologize, but all the hamsters were together in the same cage at the store, and the store owner said that a male and female will not fight. I just want them to be as happy as possible. I do care for my pets as well, and as soon as I get home, they will visit their veterinarian. We will also buy a larger habitat with lots of toys and a hamster ball. They don't bite, which is good. We learned a lot, but I haven't owned a hamster since childhood, and I did Google care, but there is so much I missed at this YouTube video covered. I want to admit you guys were right, and we will need to separate them and buy a bigger cage. Thank you to those who gave us feedback in a respectful manner. Video picture below is from Victoria Rochelle on YouTube. Boy, I already got some thoughts, y'all. Already got some thoughts. So they've had the hamsters for 2 days. And she says it's too late to do anything now, but tomorrow we'll return them. Well, by that time, the female hamster could be pregnant. So within 2 days' time, the female hamster could be already pregnant. And as far as the pet store is concerned, the pet store owner, I got questions. I got big questions. If there is a pet store and they sell hamsters and they don't have the female and male hamsters separated, because either A, the pet store owner is an idiot, or B, he is purposely overbreeding for the sake of profit. Because I just can't see male and female hamsters being kept together without there being some fighting over territory, or the female hamsters getting pregnant and then killing their babies over and over again. I would question any pet store that has that kind of policy, that they're going to keep male and female hamsters together and not separate them. That would be the responsible thing to do. So if the male and female hamster were in the same cage, I'd be looking at the pet store owner sideways, because it just seems like whoever that person is, all he cares about is profit, and he is purposely like breeding and breeding and breeding them. But the female hamster could already be pregnant, for all we know, possibly from the pet store, possibly from just the 2 or 3 days they've been with Chantal. If you want my opinion, I think Chantal, she got the pets to use for content, and she thought it'd be well received. And then when people were pointing out how stupid it is for her to have the hamsters for so many reasons, then she thought, uh-oh, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble with my viewers. I'm getting backlash. That's going to lead to losing subscribers and losing viewers. So I need to get rid of them. I need to take them back. So it had less to do with her caring about the animals and their welfare, had more to do with the fact that she just did not want her views to go down any more than what they already have. And she didn't want to hear the negative comments from people. And don't think I didn't notice, Chantal, that you posted this hamster video on the Sala and Chantal channel and you're also making a community post also on this channel versus your bigger channel where there's more people. You did all this on the Sala and Chantal channel where it won't possibly hurt your main channel and the views there. Yeah, I noticed that too. I noticed that too. And I'm going to go deep for a moment about Chantal and the hamsters for just a second. You know what I think? I think Chantal wanted to get the hamsters and getting a male and female and saying, oh, I just don't want them to be lonely. That was her projecting on those animals. I think while she's been in Kuwait with Salah, she is lonely. She's very lonely because Salah leaves her alone a lot. I think he's off doing his own thing, that she gets lonely all by herself at the house. And she was just projecting on those animals. She's projecting her loneliness on those animals. She could have looked up everything about hamsters and how they live online and all that time that she was at home and thought, you know, maybe I shouldn't get a hamster or maybe I should, but she didn't do her homework. All she knew was that she was lonely and she wants some companionship. So instead of going out and looking for human interaction, which she should be doing, if she wants to be in a relationship with Salah, you know, like, and if you're interested in living in Kuwait for any length of time, go seek out human interaction. Go talk to actual people. Don't use animals in place of people, in place of human interaction. You know, you're in a place and, you know, you want to be part of everything, then be part of everything. But I think she's projecting her loneliness onto those animals, like the way she was talking about them. Oh, these are new additions to our family. That's another thing. I think she's just trying to desperately create ties with Salah. Like, you know, I'm not trying to bash on her for not being able to have children, but she cannot have children. So since she cannot have children with Salah, then she's going to try to create another kind of tie with him via the animals. And she wants the male and female hamster to kind of like be like a projection of her and Salah. Oh, look, they're a happy couple. They're in love. No, they're animals. They're not in love. If they mate, it's because that's what they do in nature. They mate. And not all animals need to be in pairs. Not all animals need to be in herds. Some of them are very happy living by themselves. But apparently, you're not happy by yourself, Chantal. And you're needing content, and you're needing a companion, and you're lonely with Salah. So you impulsively thought, let's go out and get a hamster. And you're trying to say in the comments that it was Salah's idea to get the hamster. I seriously doubt that. I seriously doubt that. And even if he did, let's just say for a moment that you were being honest. Let's just say that he did. Are you not 38 years old? Are you not an adult? That you can't look at him and go, you know, that's a nice idea and thank you, but I got to go back home to Canada in about a month, and that would mean the animals are going to be here with you. So it wouldn't be a good idea. You could have spoken up and said, no, let's not do this, but you didn't. Because you wanted to go to that pet store. You wanted to get some cute little furry animals and use them for content and exploit them for content. That was the sole purpose. That was the sole purpose. If you're lonely, you need to reach out to people, not animals. You've already got animals at home you don't take care of, that you've left alone for nearly 3 months, and you're talking about going back to Kuwait in a while, which means they'll be alone even more. But you're projecting your loneliness and your want for companionship and want for relationship on those animals. You don't really have a relationship with Salah, so you're trying to use the animals as kind of like a surrogate type of relationship in a way. Like how the animals are, the male and female together in a cage, that's how you want you and Salah to be. But let's go over the comments after the video. Like some of the people were forgiving and saying, you know, everybody makes mistakes, and that's how we learned. Let's see. Like her taking the animals back had nothing to do with, oops, I didn't think things through, y'all. It had more to do with the backlash from the people because she had the animals for 2 days. 2 days before she posted the video. It wasn't like she made the buy and then an hour later really thought about it and said, you know, maybe this is not a good idea. Maybe we need to return them. She didn't decide to return the animals until after the backlash. If people had well received this and given her nothing but positive content, she would continue to keep the hamsters. But because her audience is calling her out on all this nonsense and pointing out everything that's wrong, that's when she decides she wants to get rid of the hamsters, or at least one of them. She says she's not getting rid of both. She's only getting rid of one. Chantal, listen. You getting the hamsters was a stupid impulse buy. That's what it was. That's what it is. You should return both. Not just one, both. Return both of them back to the pet store. Because after you're gone, after you go home to Canada, I seriously doubt that Sala is going to want to take care of the hamster. I just can't see it. I'm not saying he's a cruel person with animals, but I'm sure he's got things to do. And as I've mentioned, hamsters are nocturnal animals and they need their cages frequently cleaned. Is he ready for that? I don't think he's ready for that. I think if you get a pet together and then you take off back to Canada, he might lose interest. You know, you're getting the pet together, but you're not going to take care of it together. So let's see. Melodrama says, seriously, Chantal, you need to see someone for your impulsivity. Think before you act, FFS. Yeah, she has no impulse control. None. So anybody who supports Chantal saying she's in Kuwait, she's changing. I'm going to die on the hill with this. I'm going to scream until I can't scream anymore. She has not changed. She's not taking care of her health. She's not seeking help for her issues at all. She's not seeking therapy. She could seek therapy through Zoom calls or something. She's not doing any of that. She's still binge eating, and she still has no impulse control to the point where she's going out and getting hamsters for attention and for content. And she's not thinking about the after. Like after you satisfy your impulse for shopping, once you satisfy your impulse to touch a little furry, cute animal, what comes after? What comes after is you got to clean the cages. What comes after is you got to take care of them and you got to handle them and you got to be concerned for their care and for their well-being. That's what comes after. She doesn't think about that part. She doesn't want to think about that part. All she cares about is what can I use with this animal to get attention for me? How can I use this animal to make views and content? So she got the animals for views and content and attention. And then everybody started to come forward and there was backlash. So now it's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I was wrong. And I got to return one of them. Return them both, Chantal. Return them both. You don't have a good history for taking care of anything alive. Return them both. That would be the best thing for both of them. Take them back to the pet store. Just explain to the guy, look, I'm sorry. We can't take them home. I'm sure they'll get sold to somebody else. And they won't be used for YouTube content. Might be better off for them. Let's see. Platano says, just return them both. Accept that it was an impulsive and move on. Chantal replies with, we want one. What? I don't think it was we. I think it was you that wanted it because you're at the house, you are alone, and you just want something to occupy your time. But a pet is not a toy, Chantal, that you can just put away at will and forget about. Do you understand me? Hamsters need care. They need attention. They need love. They need stimulation. They need their cages cleaned frequently. And if you don't like doing housework, if you don't like doing dishes, if you're over there doing videos saying, I envy people who have the nice clean house, I just don't think I can do it, you don't need to own hamsters. Anything in a cage, the cleaning has to be 10 times, you got to be on top of it, and you're not. So she's saying, we want one. No, you want one. You want a hamster, not Sala. Not Sala. I'm sure it wasn't his idea to go to the pet store. I think it was yours because you're alone over there. He's taken off at night. He's not coming home till 3 in the morning. You want something to occupy your time. Find it through people, not animals. That'd be the healthiest thing for you. Platano replies back, for what? Aren't you leaving soon? Yes, she is. She's leaving in about a month. And she's going to be gone for about a month or two if she goes back, which I question. But imagine getting a pet and then about a month later, you're leaving. And who knows when you'll be back. So she's leaving soon. She's going to leave the pet all alone with Sala to take care of. Oh, we're not even married. We're not even in a relationship, but I'm going to get a pet to connect myself with you. And then I'm going to leave it and you behind. You know, I just keep thinking about the part that I saw in one of her lives where she said, and she was talking about relationships. She said, I just have to get into his house. She was talking about Natter. I just have to get into his house. Now, we've had this discussion before, y'all, where the reason why she has to get into that guy's house, which sounds creepy, but she is obsessed with getting into a guy's house for two reasons. One, because by getting into that person's house, she feels like they're getting closer. She's getting closer to them. Two, so she can leave her stuff there. So she always has a reason to talk to them, to bother them. So by her having a pet, I guess, with Sala, she's leaving something there that she can always call him and maybe say, how's the hamster or the hamsters? So she's always going to be bothering Sala. She's trying to create some kind of connection between the two of them when there is no connection. If she's there because it was a paid arrangement, some sort of fantasy role play, the moment she packs up her stuff and puts it in her suitcases and she leaves, what connection does she have? She's going to be thousands of miles away. She's trying to create some kind of connecting point between her and Sala so that she'll always be able to call Sala and he'll pick up the phone and she'll have something to talk about. She did that with Bibi. When her and Bibi broke up, she purposely left her stuff there. She had it there for over a year just so she could always contact Bibi and bother Bibi. And the same thing with Natter. You know, like even when they were fighting and she would go off about her CPAP machine, he would tell her, come get your CPAP machine. She didn't want it. She didn't want any of the stuff she bought. She wanted to keep it over there just so she would have a reason to keep bothering him. And no, I'm not a fan of Natter, okay? Not a fan of him at all. I'm just saying she has a history of this. She's got a pattern of this, of just trying to keep somebody tied to her, find some sort of connecting point. And I guess maybe the animals might be part of it. So she should be taking both the hamsters back for their own benefit to the pet store. But no, she wants to keep one. Even though she's going to leave it behind. Let's keep one. It's not necessary to keep one. Take them both back, Chantal. Sue Smith says you would expect a pet store to give you accurate information, but sadly that's not always the case. No matter where you are, try to return the female if you can figure out which it is. You know, if it's a shady pet store owner, if all they care about is the profit, they just want to make a sale. They just want to make their profit. And again, if I walked into a pet store and I saw male and female hamsters together in the same cage, I would look at them sideways and I'd walk right out because obviously those poor animals are going to be stressed and the females are going to be overbred. And that's going to lead to a lot of disastrous results. You know, just it's irresponsible to do that to animals. Gina says, please stop being impulsive in every aspect of your life, especially with pets. Right. She's got 2 pets at home. Take care of those first. Here she is lying, saying it was actually Sala who bought them for me when he heard me say I missed my pets, so we were only trying to do a good thing. You should have stopped him. And again, I don't think it was Sala who had the idea to get the hamsters. I think it was Chantal. I think it was Chantal. Because notice, Sala didn't have any pets when she arrived. And Chantal, in the past, bringing her cats on camera, claiming to be a good cat mama, but then proving otherwise. I think she's just lonely and projecting her loneliness onto another living thing. And she wants the fairy tale with Sala, So she thought she'd create the fairy tale by watching two hamsters, a male and a female, like, oh, they're in love. That's what you wish you were with Sala. You want to be in love with Sala. You want to have a relationship with Sala, but you don't. So you're projecting your loneliness and your want of love in a relationship on two animals that have nothing to do with y'all. That's what you were doing. That's what you're trying to do over there. Kelly Spanek says, do another good thing and take them both back, please. Lola says, he should have bought you a pet rock first. You know, if there's ever going to be a pet that I would trust Chantal with, it'd be a pet rock. I would be okay with her having a pet rock. You can't go wrong with a pet rock. You can't go wrong with a pet rock. Those used to be a thing back in the 70s. I remember a pet rock. But that's the only pet that I would trust her with, is a pet rock. Anything with a heartbeat, I don't trust you, Chantal. TR says, why get any pet when you're leaving in 30 days? Because she's an idiot. Because she's an idiot. Because she's alone. Because she's lonely. Because her and Saul aren't married, aren't going to be married. He doesn't love her. He's not even attracted to her. Okay? She's lonely. But yet she won't do what she needs to do and get her butt back home to Canada. No, she's going to prove all the reaction channels wrong. See, that's the thing with Chantal. She just can't swallow her pride and admit when everybody else is right. She just won't do it. She won't do it. Like, her pride and her vanity matter more than common sense. All of us are saying the marriage is a sham. He doesn't love you. But yet, she's going to stick it to us, right? She's going to stick it to us. She's going to show us all. Oh, you're all wrong. He really loves me. I'm going to show you. You're not showing anybody anything, Chantal, except the fact that you are in Kuwait. You're obviously miserable. You're obviously unhappy. You're obviously lonely. And yet you won't take the common sense path and say, you know, it's not working out here. I need to go home. I need to go home where I can be myself. I can have more freedom. I can be with my pets. I can be more happy. No, because you're so into just showing us something over here. I'm going to show them. I'm going to show them. I'm going to stay somewhere where I'm not happy. I'm lonely. I'm miserable to the point where I'm binging. I'm going to stay right here because I'm determined to show everybody that this marriage is real when you're not even married. You're not even married to Sala. You're pretending. It's role play. We can all see it. We're not stupid over here. You're stupid for continuing this charade. You're stupid for making yourself miserable when you don't have to. You can go home and be happier. But maybe you don't want to leave Sala because you know when you leave, you're probably not going to come back. You know that. You know that. You know you're going to have to end this arc somewhere or the other. Maybe the two of you have a fight or it's just not working out, blah, blah, blah. Because that's what you always do. You start an arc, you got to find a way to end it. Oh, I blocked him on Messenger, or he blocked me. You got to find a way to end the story before you can start another one. If you're that lonely, the point where you're considering buying animals in another country, it's time to come home. It just is. It's time to come home, and that way you can be yourself. You can have your freedom, and you got your cats. Bonus. You got your cats. If you're lonely for animals, go home to the animals you got. Don't purchase new ones. Burger Girl says, are you aware of just how broken you are as a person? Just because the hamsters smash doesn't mean Sala is going to touch you. Right, thank you. Thank you. She's trying to use the hamsters as kind of like, I guess, like a surrogate for the loving relationship she wants with Sala. She can't have it with Sala. So let me just watch these two animals, a male and a female, be all cozy and loving together. No, they're not in love. They're hamsters. They mate because that's what they do in nature. They mate when it's time to mate. You're projecting. You're projecting what you want with Sala on these animals, and it's wrong, Chantal. You know it is. Danny Trick says, so are you guys just taking one back or just separating them? You began by saying one goes back, but end with separation. It's common to do, but never anthropom. Oh, I can't say that word. Do research on a specific breed of animal first, not just a cursory job, but really delve in. Domestic or not, animals are not humans. We all tend to humanize our pets, but they are not. Syrian hamsters are solitary creatures who are aggressive. They don't want a mate or partner. They burrow and bury themselves. They'll be awesome pets as long as you learn to read their body language and cues. The hamster ball is invaluable, lots of room, no cedar bedding, fresh food and seeds. It'll be fine. Well, there's some great advice in that post about their care. But again, she's going to be leaving in about a month. She won't even be caring for them. So who will? Is it going to be Sala? I'm sure Sala is done with Chantal. I've been watching him and her. I've noticed over time how the more the time goes on, the more she rages, the more she doesn't change, the more he's like making himself absent. So whatever he might have felt, whatever he was thinking in the beginning, he don't feel that way now. He's staying away from Chantal, coming home at 3 in the morning, newly married, allegedly, and coming home at 3 in the morning and not even taking his coat off. Just coming in like he's just making an appearance and he's going to leave. That's a happily married couple. That's a newly married couple. I don't think so. I don't think so. You know, it just seems like there's stuff going on in the background. There's some unhappiness there. And Chantal she just wants any kind of picture of happiness between her and Salah. And there isn't. Meg says you are impulsive and it is harmful. Yes, it's impulsive, especially when you involve living beings that have nothing to do with the problem, but you're sucking them into your problem. Let's see. Cher B says, the way I see it, Chantal could have ignored all advice and let her ego come into play and say, no, I'm keeping the two hamsters together because I want to. But no, Chantal is doing the right thing, and I think she deserves some credit for that. Thank you, Chantal, for thinking about what would be the best for the hamsters. I'm going to say this in reply. I'm going to say it one more time. I think if nobody had said anything about the way those hamsters were being kept or cared for, she would have kept them the way they were. This moment of clarity, this moment of, oops, I made a mistake, did not happen until after she posted the video and she got backlash. She's bending to backlash because her views are already tanking. Her viewers are leaving. Her VIB chat is a joke. She's bending to pressure. She doesn't give a crap about the animals. This is not about her doing some adulting and realizing, you know, these animals need more than what I can provide. This is her bending to pressure. This is her looking at the situation and saying, uh-oh, I got to take them back. Because if I keep these animals, I'm going to lose even more subscribers. I'm going to lose even more viewers. And that's going to be disastrous for my channel. And my channel is already in trouble. It's not about her having a human moment and caring for animals. It has to do with her protecting her income. Because she's narcissistic and she thinks only for herself. And the fact that she's considering keeping one, why? You're going to be leaving in about a month. Take them both back. That would be the best thing to do. If she had a truly human moment, she'd take them both back. Not to say, oh, I'm keeping one. No, take them both back. Take them both back. Everybody advising against the hamster balls. So what other comments do we have here before we close this out? I want to get them all. Let's see. Yeah, but she was blaming this whole thing on Salah. Like, oh, he bought them for me. That's her pointing a finger at him and saying it's his fault. But where do you get the idea, Chantal? I just can't see Salah coming home and saying, oh, honey, I've got a great idea. How about I get you a hamster? I can't see him doing that. I think that came from her. I think that came from her being lonely over there. She's been there for 3 months. I'm sure she's going stir crazy in that apartment. She's looking for something to put her attention on because he's leaving her alone so much. I think that came 100% from Chantal. So that's it for the comments. You know, Chantal, I hope that you take both of them back. I hope you do. Because you don't need any pets right now. You don't even need the pets that are back home because you're not taking care of them. But you certainly don't need 2 new pets that you can't even take home with you to Canada. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to do that. If you can't take care of the 2 you already have, you don't need 2 more. And if you need love and if you need companionship, find it another way. Find it in people. Talk to people, get interaction with people. If you're around Solid, he's got friends and relatives, talk to them. Don't grab up pets just because they're there, because they can't say no. Good God. Anyway, that's it for this React video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you have, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you very much for watching today and have a good one. Bye-bye.